Hello, welcome to my astrotherapy video series. This is the first video of my therapy video series. The name of my business is called Astrotherapy for a reason. Because on one side, I'm an astrologer and I really believe that astrology provides amazing tools for self-awareness and understanding our relationships and the people in our lives and kind of giving us some sort of comfort into why certain things happen. However, on the other side, I think that astrology isn't everything. I think that spirituality and having a connection with something higher than you, and really at the end of the day, being connected to you, to your internal wisdom and amazingness, is what's really what it's all about. So I always tell my clients, at the end of the day, your astrological sign may bring you this amazing awareness that it's not going to hold your hand when your dog dies or your heart gets broken. The chart's not going to help you, right? So what is going to help you? What is going to comfort your soul and find you true happiness every day? So today's video is focusing on some basic spiritual understandings that I believe really help me when my chart falls short. I want you to understand that you are a spiritual being in a physical body having this human experience, and your inner voice is way more powerful than anything outside of you, even your astrology, because you create your reality. You are writing the movie of your life right now while you live it, and that is powerful, folks. I don't want to take that empowerment away from you by telling you to follow the planets or the stars. That is not the intention or the purpose of astrology. It's not my style of astrology, and it's also why I don't really focus too much on predictive astrology. If someone says to me, when should I have a baby? When should I get married? When should I fall in love? I always say, I don't know. When should you? Go manifest it, right? Again, I don't want astrology to be a crutch where you use it instead of creating your life and empowering yourself. It's important to know that you are a three-part being: body, mind, and soul. First, there is your body, and your body is of this time-space reality, this place of limits and boundaries, and we leave the body when we go. And most spiritual teachers call this the physical plane, and I like to call it the plane of two-ness: up, down, left, right, hot, cold, opposites, yin and yang. And then there is your soul, and your soul is of a totally other plane. There are no limits or boundaries, and they call it the spiritual plane, but I like to call it the plane of oneness. It's just that there's just this oneness of being, which still resides within us. And last, there is your mind. And I believe your mind is two parts: your emotions, which is closer connected to your soul, and your thoughts, which is closer connected to the body. Your emotions are kind of more of a reaction to your soul not feeling okay or feeling okay. And I feel like your thoughts are more a reaction to your physical reality. Am I doing okay? Is the physical reality okay, right? And I believe your mind is truly the glue that holds it all together. Life is just a constant flow of energy. And you're either coming from a low, slow moving energy or high, fast moving energy. It's kind of like if you think about science class in high school back in the day, solid, liquid, gas, right? When someone asks you, what's the matter? What they're really asking you is, what kind of energy, matter, are you dealing with? Are you coming from a low vibration or are you coming from a high vibration? Most spiritual mystics and teachers talk about you can either come from love or from fear. And that's very much what that is. Are you coming from a high vibration, love, or a slow, low vibration, fear? So that oneness plane is where we came from. And it's the place of our soul. of emotions, of love, that high vibration. And sometimes we have a tough time remembering that feeling because the physical plane, the plane of two-ness, where we are, distracts us with all its limits and boundaries. Our body, our five senses, our thoughts, it creates that fear, that low vibration, and it gets center stage most of the time. And then there's our ego. Now, our ego gets a bad rap. It definitely has an amazing function, and I believe it gets a bad rap. I mean, it keeps us in our body so we can have this experience. It forces us to protect ourselves and to survive. But most of the time, it gets carried away and makes us feel separate and way too focused on the external physical plane. So, it is really the mind that steers the wheel, that writes the movie. And the mind is where we create our reality and we choose the vibration. Are we going to get tripped up by the ego, outside forces, or are we going to get inspired by the spirit, inside forces? So, how does this all apply to astrology? Well, you could have two Leos, could be completely different. One could be coming from fear, and one could be coming from love, centered in their being. Fear, tripped up externally. And you're going to have two totally different experiences of this Leo energy. And also, you have to remember that no one is one way. Every day we're changing and we're growing. Some days we're having a great day. Some days we're having a bad day. So a lot of people will come up to me and say, oh my God, my last 3 boyfriends were Leos and I just met a Leo and I just don't want to date him. Ridiculous. Date him. It doesn't matter because you don't know where he's coming from in his awareness, right? And you could have a much better experience. So our level of energy consciousness, awareness has nothing to do with our zodiac sign. There's negative and positive aspects to each sign. So when people ask me, oh my God, what is happening with my love life? I'm far less concerned about their chart and way more concerned about what's going on internally for them. What are they focused on? Where are they coming from? Have they been meditating? Have they been doing something that like meditation that's spiritual for you? Maybe it's playing tennis. Maybe it's going fishing. Maybe it's drinking a glass of wine and chilling by the fire with your loved one, right? Whatever is going to calm you, soothe you, and get you back to your internal experience and what your soul is here to do versus all the external physical stuff that's going on that's really tripping us up into fear. So astrology is an amazing tool, but it's our spiritual practice that creates shifts in our lives. So I'm going to leave you with this metaphor that I always tell people. If you go to the doctor and you have a broken bone, the doctor is going to get an x-ray to see kind of where the bone is broken and to get more clarity on the broken bone. But the doctor is not going to come to you with the x-ray to heal the broken bone. That's ridiculous, right? So a birth chart is like a spiritual x-ray. We can see what's going on underneath the surface, behind the scenes, right? But we're not going to heal the issues you're having in your life with the birth chart. That's ridiculous. We're not going to cast your broken arm with an x-ray, and we're not going to cast your broken life with a birth chart. Okay? It's all about finding what's true for you, finding your inner voice, and finding whatever spiritual practice can really get you to tap into that soul voice and not so much the physical voice that's outside of us. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please follow me on YouTube, The Astrotherapist. Follow me on Facebook, /Astrotherapy12. Also on Twitter, Astrotherapy12. And if you would like to get your birth chart read, oh, it's so exciting. It's so much fun. I'm telling you, natalbirthchart.com. You can sign up there. Thank you so much.